Good morning, Mob Squad. Yeah, I didn't like that either. We are up north, slept in the back of the truck, nice and cozy like. Now we're gonna hit this piece of public land. We're gonna find something today. Huge chunk of public, bunch of rivers running through it. We're gonna try and get ourselves a buck. We're gonna try and get ourselves a buck. And Jesse's gonna slay him.
Slay him.
Slay.
Slay. Okay, stop the music. Stop the music. Hold on. Stop the music. Stop. We gotta talk. Jesse's and my hunt didn't result in anything but a really good time out in the wilderness of just enjoying nature. We saw just a few deer, had an awesome meal out there, and walked a lot of miles for nothing really received on the back end. But I want to talk about something because I think it's really important to kind of flip the script on big buck culture in a way. It's in a way flipping the script on big buck culture. This may kind of come off as self-righteous, but it's not intended to be that way. It's more just to kind of take a different perspective on things and in life in general. How do I start this off? I have had a revelation, and this revelation begins back in October of bow season. So we're going to be doing a little bit of a recap of the season so far. I have goals that I try to meet on different pieces of property. And I've talked before about living up to your word. That's one of the only things in life we can control is our word and our actions. So I have these set goals. I made them pretty public with you guys and with family and even neighbors. That there was 4 bucks that I wanted to shoot. Out of all these bucks that we've had pictures or driving around and scouting on this family piece of property. I had the opportunity in mid-October to shoot a different buck that we'd never had a picture before. At least I was unaware of it. When I first saw it, I got a little bit of excitement, kinda. It made me think, like, whoa, what is this buck? Is this the buck that I'm after? What a buck is this? Is this a stray buck that I should be shooting? But when it boiled down to it, and I had a few seconds to adjust and get my thoughts in order, my heart wasn't thumping. My heart wasn't in it. And I passed on the deer, and I really questioned myself if that was the right thing to do because it was such a beautiful opportunity at such a beautiful animal. Long story short, I did not make a mistake, but it was questioned. I questioned myself if it was the right thing to do, but it boiled down to the fact of it didn't get my heart pumping. And that's what kind of sets me, it's part of my standard at the very least. My heart just told me it's not for me. After it was all said and done, and I got home in the barn here talking to the camera like I'm doing now. Got my thoughts all around. I had a sense of guilt that I didn't shoot that buck. Not for the fact that, the guilt stemmed from feeling like I should have been excited over that buck. And I felt guilty that I knew that there were other people out there in very close proximity that would have had a sense of excitement that I didn't have. So maybe it wasn't necessarily guilt, but almost sadness in a way, because I had lost some sort of a spark. Here's where it changes though, and where the revelation really takes place, is we fast forward to gun season of this year, and my sister, after 13 years of not shooting anything because either A, she didn't get excited over it, or B, just missed opportunities, we all have them, she was able to shoot the same exact buck that I passed, that I felt remorse for not shooting, and guilt, whatever you want to call it. She had the opportunity to get it with my grandpa, and she successfully did. And I got to share in her enjoyment and excitement and everything with her, my grandpa, her husband. The revelation happened right there as I was standing right next to her. And I thought to myself, if you would have shot that buck, it would almost, 1, been spiteful, and 2, you would have taken that joy right out of her hands. And this revelation went further. I thought to myself later on, why am I excited for my sister or my grandpa or brother-in-law or cousin or father if they shoot something that I pass on? But I would be angry or discouraged if a neighbor or something like that shot one that I passed on. You know what that is? It's called being selfish. Why would I be spiteful about neighbors or not so close friends shooting something that I wouldn't shoot? It's selfish. Do you see how that is? It's selfish. I want to try and make it bullet pointed. I want to try and make it clear that one, I'm not trying to be self-righteous. Two, I'm not trying to completely be a dick, completely. But three, I'm really trying to just change a perspective on things. I want big bucks. I know other people want big bucks. I know other people can't pass deer because they need the meat. And some people can pass deer because they don't necessarily need the meat. I know some people hunt on a 10-acre chunk and some people own a frickin' section. There's variance across every single hunter. Mindset, capabilities, and opportunities. Everything's a little bit different per hunter. But what it should be for every hunter, because it just should, we should all feel happy for one another when we have success, when we meet our goals. And by far, I'm not trying to discourage anybody from trying to manage anything. And by far, I'm not trying to discourage anybody from not shooting what makes them happy, because that's what I'm trying to boil this down to. Hunting is just a giant culmination of experiences wrapped into a single moment of pulling a trigger. And we try to justify things with the size of the antlers. But when it again boils down to it, every freaking animal, every life we take is A, a blessing because it feeds us, and B, it's a trophy. So when people try to slam other people for being trophy hunters as well, every deer we shoot's a trophy. Every deer, every game animal that we harvest that gives us food and energy, that's a trophy. There's no negative connotation with trophy hunters, and there's no negative because they're synonymous with just anybody that hunts. So really, that's where the script is flipped. It flips twice. We're turning a bunch of pages here. And again, revelations are coming. Everybody's a trophy hunter, so number one, people that have the same excitement to shoot a spike or a 4-point shouldn't be bashing on people that are trophy hunters because you have the same excitement that somebody else has shooting a 150-inch or plus bigger buck. Every person that is shooting these big bucks and don't feel the excitement from shooting smaller bucks, you're one and the same, but your perspective on the class of animal is just different. They still feel the same excitement and joy of shooting a younger buck that you feel at shooting an older buck. So there's your 2 pages. We're flipping through things. We shouldn't be trying to steal opportunities away from people because of spitefulness, and if I don't shoot it, the neighbor's gonna shoot it. Well, let them feel the joy too. Here's what I know. We're gonna start from the top. The video of did I make a mistake on passing that deer? I 100 and million cajillion % did not make a mistake. And like I've said before, I'm not trying to be self-righteous, but I know why I didn't make a mistake. One, it didn't get my heart pumping. I've said it 100 times. Number 2, my sister had the opportunity to get that buck, and she's had been a long dry spell. My grandpa was with her as well. So the first point right there, with 2 underlying bullet points, I know I didn't make a mistake in passing that deer. Also, number 2, I know I haven't made a mistake on passing any deer in general. None whatsoever. I made no mistake because somebody out there is going to feel the joy that I would feel shooting a bigger buck. And I don't want to rip that joy away from somebody if they have the opportunity to have it. I don't want to be spiteful, and I don't want to take it from them just to be spiteful. Number 3, I'm not trying to bash anybody. I mean, in a way, I'm not. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to bash a perspective. And that perspective I'm trying to bash is just don't be a dick and don't criticize somebody else for feeling that same excitement that you might feel with a bigger buck. Because that excitement and that overjoyed experience that you have shooting a bigger buck, somebody else feels that exact same thing shooting something that's not up to your standard of level or whatever. I think the challenge is just self-reflection. You know, I can't come out here and say that I'm a perfect person and that I don't, you know, say stupid things. Obviously, there's things I've said in here that's probably perceived as stupid or self-righteous or whatever else. But where my heart's at on things right now is I just want people to be neighborly. I want people to be happy for each other. I want people to have free conversations and not feel like they're going to get guilt tripped into anything or berated for having a different standard than others. And that goes both ways. I don't think somebody that's out there for the meat, just solely out there for the meat, because there are people out there that are out there just for the meat to get through. I don't think people should hate on those. I don't think those people should hate on those that have, you know, more opportunity to shoot bigger bucks or manage things. And on the other side of the coin, I don't think the people that have the opportunity to manage things should be upset with those that don't have that opportunity. Because, like, at some point, I know I've said in this video, every hunter has a different perspective on what a successful hunt looks like. Just like every person in life has a different outlook on life in general. I think if we all just took a second and appreciated what we have and the opportunities that we have, and then hold on to that feeling of appreciation and share that with other people, share that joy and excitement for the opportunities and success that they have, you would see just a major cultural shift, not just in the hunting world, but across the entire world. I don't know. I mean, maybe the best way to wrap up this entire video is just, you know, love your neighbor as yourself. You know, I know it comes from the Bible, and some people don't like that stuff, but hey, you know what? You should. You should love each other. You should be happy for each other. You shouldn't cast judgment on each other. We should be happy for each other, and we should be, you know, encouraging to each other. I mean, you look at it. You can look and see how much of the negative is out there. See how much of the jealousy is out there, the envy is out there, and all this other crap that's pushed on us by social media and all these other things that's out there. If we just looked at life as being grateful, taking care of one another, trying to understand one another, you know, I think I'm pretty certain the world would be a lot better place. So I'll apologize if I ruffled some feathers. Really, my main goal was just to try and change a perspective, or at least encourage someone to self-evaluate themselves. I try to self-evaluate, and I know I'm continually falling short, but I'm trying. I appreciate you all watching. Fight me in the comments, I don't care. But I appreciate you all watching. And yeah, I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.